This was a long time ago. I was living in the South Nashville area. Okay. And because of where I stayed at, I belonged to a youth club known as Edge Hill Youth Club. Now, there was a lot of guys up there at the youth club. I belonged to the Edge Hill Youth Club, and a lot of us were friends, and we would perform. We were more into the stage and theater and things of that nature. So we were kind of not your average kids, but we were good kids. We were studied kids. We were kids that went to, school and did good grades and were, I think, pretty articulate, upstanding kids, to be in our conditions of living in the inner city and having to go to, this center in the evening times to kind of escape the hells of living in these conditions. We escaped those hells by, one day playing around. We had these outfits where, we had at the Edge Hill Youth Club this time where we were, kind of doing paintings and things like that. So we had these kind of jumpsuits that looked like smocks that you would paint in. So we had on all black, and we were playing around with guns, not real guns, but, these ones that you would get probably from Walmart or any type of department store where you would have a air pistol, air gun, a BB gun or something like that. Or I had a black BB gun that looked just like a 9mm gun. So, as we were outside and we were playing around with, acting like we were playing gotcha, kind of running around like we were cops and robbers shooting each other. And, we had split up into teams. And that night it was particularly strange because there was a lot of cops, particularly in the area that we were in. There was a festival that was about to go on, that was known as Edge Hill Street Festival. And so there was a lot of traffic that would be blocked off on the street of Edge Hill Street, from blocking off from 8th Avenue South all the way to 12th Avenue South on Edge Hill would be blocked off with barricades where you would have Edge Hill Street Festival. So a person by the name of Mr. James Thrillkill, very famous artist here in Nashville, who was over the center. He was over the youth club, and he was going back and forth over the street, checking to make sure, certain things were in place for the festival and everything on a CB, while we were simultaneously in the back of Edge Hill Center playing around with these air pistols. And some of us even had what looked like to be a stapler. Staplers opened up like they were guns, and we were playing around with them, So we were all of a sudden introduced to the police because someone behind the center thought that people were breaking into Edge Hill Center and called the police on us. So once they called the police on us, an actual helicopter with the lights and everything came and spotlighted us, and like the classic depictions that you see in the Boys in the Hood movie or the Menace to Society, where the police throw the black person down on the ground and handcuff them and say all these derogatory terms. That was not said to us. I'm not saying they were racist. They were not in any shape or fashion, but they did throw us down on the ground. They did have us handcuffed. They actually handcuffed me and put me in the car because I foolishly, not knowing that it was a policeman, aimed my air pistol in her face. And she was like, "This is the police." I heard it was like the CB. So when I came around the corner, I thought that it was, one of the other guys that was on my opposing team that I'm supposed to pretend be shooting. So, it wasn't. I was like, "Oh, Turkey, that's you. I know that's you, Turkey." No, it's not Turkey. It's a policeman. And I hear and it was the police. And she stuck her gun in my face and said, "Freeze, get down on the ground." And she handcuffed me and pulled me up by my handcuffs and pulled me up by my arm and picked me up off the ground and took me around the place and dropped me down. It was a helicopter over the top of the Edge Hill Center with the spotlight down on us and everything. A helicopter. Man, oh my God. That was real. And I went through it. I had to actually go to court to show that we were just kids playing and that we were not breaking into Edge Hill Center. And even James Thrillkill had to come where the police were and tell them these are kids that go to the center, they're just playing.